Boulanger, który z Bostonu, który jest obecny u nas w Krakowie od 35 lat. Właśnie dzisiaj podczas wykładu wspomniałem jego pierwszy przyjazd z rodziną do Krakowa. Wtedy przyjechał w ramach programu Fulbrighta. Spędził z nami jeden cały semestr. So I'm just reminding about the first visit by Richard Boulanger from Boston exactly 35 years ago. And we have a lot of amazing things. He came with two kids, with two boys. With my wife, which is we have already 3 kids, and we make the family concert. So there was like some travels, and that was really amazing. Richard came with radio baton, the famous historical instrument designed by Max Matthews, groove, conductor, all those stories. And then during the second trip, he brought a lot of equipment. So part of this equipment is still in use in our studio at the Academy of Music. So there are some important reminders, even that, well, the tech stuff, when it's like tons of them, you know, coming from America to Poland, it makes very special vibration and some other reflections and a lot of...
I'm so happy that Berkeley just donated so much stuff. You have a rare golden DX7. Yes. They're like only made 100 of those. It's like, I'm so happy for you.
Yes. So I just remind you because there's a very big, I don't want to say gap because there's no gap. It was coming quite rather regular to Krakow. And I was also visiting Berkeley several times, but this is not the time to make this reminder because that will be quite long, okay? Just remember, Richard.
Well, we can say that we have collaborated together for many, many years. We are soulmates. We both tell stories and never stop. We both love our students immensely and are so proud to make music with them. These are 2 of my former students who are now superstars in the recording industry and at Stanford doing incredible research. You're going to meet them and see some about them tonight and some of their work too. So we have a lot in common, and it's been a beautiful relationship that we've had for many, many years, since 1990.
Yes, so as usual, but perhaps Richard, you will make the precise introduction about people involved, because I see another person on the screen.
Larrea is here too. And so my collaborator who developed some of the software we're going to use in this first piece is Strong Bear. Hello, Strong Bear. So Strong Bear will be playing with us live from Lakewood, Ohio. So the cool thing about CsoundMeta, our open source software which puts Csound into Unity and in the MetaVerse, and we want you all to get yourself Meta 3s or 2s or 3S's so that you can start enjoying composing and soundscaping and playing with Csound in the MetaVerse. And so we're definitely going to open our concert, make sure everything works, and then play one of my pieces called Csound Dreams in the MetaVerse. So we'll do a little demo in the beginning before we play the piece, so you maybe can appreciate a little more what we're doing. So you're not saying, oh, what are they? I want to show you how I hit the sounds, or we play the sounds, or we pass them, like playing catch with each other. And a couple of former students and now professors here commented how my MetaVerse software still looks like the radio baton that I brought here back in 1990. So, and what's so interesting about that is Strong Bear never knew of the radio baton or any of that work, and yet he recreated it here. So we're excited to share with you a lot of nice music tonight. Thank you.
Okay, so in fact there will be there's a second event. Then after the short break we will go to the third one, also very much integrated with Richard. It will be one piece performed already, but the second one will be also a premiere. To string quartet, and then Steve Wright.
And the exciting thing about the string quartet music is my son Philip. So when I came, he was 5. Tomorrow his 5-year-old daughter comes. So we have a really beautiful history of Pullman, but this is his quartet. He runs a music school now in New Haven, Connecticut, called Music Haven, which is unbelievable, mentoring to all, free lessons for all inner school children in New Haven. And it's an after-school program, and they do homework with them and teach them tennis. Tennis, they teach them chess, and maybe tennis too. They have a chorus now, and it's an amazing program. So they're just doing so much, and they raise these children, giving them free music lessons from the age of like 5 through 18, and many of them go on into music colleges, so it's really something. And Philip's career started here.
So we are putting the microphone here. You need some more break, or you can start. Okay, you need some tests.
What we're going to do is just get going. You can put it there, and why don't you put it there, and I can explain what we're doing.
That's quite also important. When you have a program, the first concert consists from several shorter pieces. So either you are following, or with my idea you don't need to. But you can do it afterwards. It's in a program, it's on the website, and also on this larger printed program. Oh, my voice.
Is it strong here? Do you hear me? I'm going to hide the thing now. It's like, so you can hear me, yes, or we'll put it here.
There.
Oh, good. So Strongbear is here. He's waving at me from over there. He's in Lakewood, Ohio. My students, Tyler over here on my right and Mateo here on my left, you're seeing their kind of radio baton mallets. We're co-locating, and we're seeing all of you because I'm in pass-through mode. But of course I could take us to, a city street in kind of AI London, and or Krakow maybe, but you'll see more of Krakow later. And so let me hide the anchor. It looks like we're here. And
you're not casting.
oh, I'm not casting.
Yeah.
Not yet. Okay. So thank you. So I better go to casting. So you can. Oh, you guys can. They can see. So you're seeing what they're seeing. We're trying to create a little sense for all of you of how cool it is to be in the headset. So in the headset, we're in these virtual worlds, and mainly you're going to be seeing my headset on the main screen. But you're going to be seeing kind of what Mateo's looking at on his, and what Tyler's looking at. We're all playing together, which you'll see in a second. Once you understand how the system works, hopefully then you'll just like what you hear musically. But let me go over here to cast. Looks like I'm casting now. Now, let's just test that I have audio. Okay, so this is what I was telling you, this city street kind of in London, or London. And so we'll come back into an area, and you see I can look around and see the stars and the street, and maybe I can create an orb. Okay, it looks like we've got sound. It's not creating an orb though. Oh, maybe because I'm in concert mode. So, let me get out of concert mode. Hold on. And let me create an orb. Okay, so I've created this object which I can strike and play. Someone grabbed it. I can hand this object to Mateo. Mateo can play it. And he can hand it off to Tyler, maybe. Or maybe to me. Tyler, for you, strike. And Strong Bear in Ohio can play it. I can add other objects. Okay, what's happening? This latency is an issue, eh? Let's see. We can play them, we can edit them, we can control them and change them and assign controls to them so that they change pitch and respond to button pushes and all kinds of things about Csound with them, right? We can clone them and delete them and all that. Now, and we can pass them around. We can turn them into wanderers so that they fly and spatialize as well. But the coolest thing is we also have these worlds. And so I'm in pass-through mode now, but now I can pick, and we can be over a reef here, I'm looking around the sky and playing in paradise, let's say. I'm a scuba diver, by the way, and so I have some reefs. But, or in some dark forest somewhere. And so the point is we have all these worlds, and we can put all of these worlds as composers on a timeline. And so let me go to setup and show you the timeline. So I can put them all on a timeline like this, a circular timeline, and sort of structure a composition. This has 4 tracks of audio, plus a track of video, plus a track of text. So maybe now you understand a little bit of how it works, and we can all play. So what we'd like to do is play the first piece. Sound okay? Would you like to hear? So this is Csound Dreams in the MetaVerse. And when I started working with Csound in 1979 at MIT, you would wait all night to hear if you were lucky enough to get on the MIT computer. And so it took forever to write, a 4-minute piece, which I worked on for 15 years. And finally I decided it's still not perfect, but okay, I better stop. I used to, there's a lot of stories. In any case, many of those sounds are now in the MetaVerse. I imagine it would be nice to grab them and play them and touch them and shape them. And so a lot of these sounds, Red is one of my Csound sounds from 1979. The whole history of computer music is in Csound. And it's preserved in these instruments and in this world now, and allowing you all to kind of play in the world. So, we'll go to concert mode, and we'll play you, and the piece is about 14 minutes long. It has 4 movements, they're clearly marked, and there's a story here that hopefully you will enjoy and follow. And you'll see what I can do with the images and so let me get out of demo mode. And the cool thing is that, so what we're going to do is play Audio Art 2025 in a second. Let me make sure I get everybody off. No more timeline. We're going to concert mode, and we're ready to pick a composition. So what we're going to play is Audio Art 2025, and so it begins. I'm casting, I hope.
You are.
Good. Okay, let's see if it comes up. Come on. Here we go. sounds are made with Csound, the software, free software synthesis language, and all the effects. And in fact, almost the whole history of computer music is in the MetaVerse now. So I've put in hundreds of classic Csound pieces or Csound realizations. There's some Stockhausen in there, there's John Chowning FM pieces in there, and so you can actually improvise over the classics within the MetaVerse too. The software is free, it's in the public domain, and we hope for all of you to download it and start to play with it. I'm going to play a Csound piece now, and Piotr is going to do a live 8-channel remix of it. This one's a little darker. I hope that you felt a little sense of hope at the end of that, even though all of New York was blown up by some Martian base founded by I don't know who decided to colonize Mars to create laser cannons that would blow up New York City and destroy the world. But maybe there was hope and still even a little lullaby from the forest on another planet where we might survive. So right now, what we're going to do is play a Csound piece. I'm going to render it, and so my role will be the return key. But it's going to be rendered in real time. You'll see a display, and Piotr is going to mix and move it around you and sort of explode the room with it. So, hello, Strong Bear. 1 minute. By the way, that's Strong Bear again. Let's hear it in Strong Bear. Strong Bear will be back and play in the final kind of jam with us too. So, let's jump now to Csound and just run one of the etudes that I had planned for you. And you know, sometimes what happens in computer and electronic music that's so fun, well, sometimes accidents happen and you just say, hey, that's the piece. I don't do that. But a lot of times accidents happen and I say, hey, that would make a good piece. And then I spend forever trying to turn that accident into a piece of music. And that's what happened with this. One of my students was playing with this opcode in Csound called GendyC, and he made some really interesting sounds with it, which I had never heard. I never even could figure out the opcode. Now, an opcode in the Csound language is like a module and a modular synthesizer. And so in Csound, there are 1,800 opcodes or modules. And some of them are really primitive, but some of them are quite advanced. And so they were allowing me to sing and transform my voice a little there or make any of those sounds. So we built instruments by linking together opcodes, like on a modular synthesizer, patching them together. And so this GendyC opcode, he had made some interesting sounds with it. So I said, hey, I need to look at that, because it's been sitting in Csound for 20 years and I've never tried it. And so I started exploring, and you know, Colette, my wife, is here, and after about 8 or 12 hours, she's wondering what's going on, and if I've had a heart attack or something, comes down to the studio, and you just spend all day lost in it. But after about a day of playing with it, this came out, and in fact, it's one of the most frightening pieces of music I've ever accidentally written. So you're going to hear a lot of monsters. It's kind of Halloween themed in a way, but whenever I heard this thing start to play and make these sounds and explode in my studio, I was like, wow, pretty crazy. So this is this, I call it GendyC Etude, but I think Piotr is going to have a lot of fun playing with it too. So here is the GendyC Etude, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you like as it runs too. You'll see that none of this is random or probabilistic. Csound kind of looks like this. And you make instruments from these opcodes, like here's GendyC. So all that's in this instrument, there's nothing in it. 2 GendyCs, that's it. Nothing. There's instrument, GendyC, output, and a little reverb. And then these notes that set the parameters. Twist this, play that. So this is what it looks like, the score. And you'll see the notes rendered as we go. You have to push a button. I hope you can hear me. You can hear me. But I speak loudly. It could be because I'm going deaf from listening to too many Csound sine tones. So I don't know what to say to you. You should all learn Csound, or wait, don't do it because you'll turn 70 and you'll be all messed up because you can't hear anymore. We all have this problem. Max Matthews. I always wondered when I played. Max Matthews is the father of computer music, and I would play concerts with him, and I'd always wonder why he wanted to be on one side of me, or he wanted the monikers. And finally, one day he admitted he had gone to a concert by a colleague of mine, Diamanda Galas. I don't know if you know her, but a really intense performance artist, amazing, incredible, screaming, and so I guess he was up close, and it kind of blew out one of his ears. And so so Max would always like want to stand on the left of me, and I kept wondering why he loved super high frequencies and my tones, and you have to push the button. And so I kept wondering why, and so finally, like years after us playing concerts together, we finally said, Richard, I can't hear out of my left ear. I said, oh. So we all are now having this happen. One.
I think it's working.
One. Wait, I got it. Look, here it comes. One. And you're complaining about the latency in Csound and MetaVerse, please. This is Sennheiser, $800 microphone, and latency. Now, okay. Perfect. Okay, so let's play the piece. Ready? My role in this piece is return key. And if you look on the program, I say return key performed by. So here we go, I think. You ready? you see how powerful Csound is. Free, open source, amazing. Barry Verco wrote it. The language just passed this year too, and right after the Computer Music Conference. And so I'm talking about him and telling him about his work and trying to stay in contact. And so, well, that's for Barry. Because just one line of code that powerful is incredible. Now, I will also give you a tiny bit of advice because you're all young composers, some of you, and some of you seasoned composers. But always the best thing is to make sure that your sound technician has fun at your concerts. And so when your sound technician has a good time and gets to do fun stuff, and it's great, like Piotr, then, wow, things are better. So I'm excited that Piotr is mixing for us. We should mellow out for a second and show you something else cool with Csound. Now, I know that Marek Korniewski does a lot of things with brainwaves, and I've been doing a lot with brainwaves too. Mateo has done a lot of brainwave research at Stanford in an incredible lab there. So what we have is a more mellow Csound piece. We're going to do live brainwave, kind of a brainwave trio, where we're playing, again, a simple Csound instrument that's going to listen to our theta waves and do these beautiful melodic arpeggios and things. So we're going to cue that up right now. I'm going to switch over so you can watch my brainwaves on my iPhone or something. And so we go here, and I go here, and I put on my Muse headband, and let's see. And it will still be coming out just like before. There's nothing we need to do different. There it is. Okay, it's following me. Now let's see if it finds my head. We already tested this, Peter. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see if it finds me, and I might have turned it off.
Do you have a audio?
Come on.
Right.
Okay, you can test for a second. Let's turn on the thing.
May I make a question?
Yes.
I'm just curious. So are you going to use your brainwaves to get the parameters for
My
the
brainwaves are going to be, you'll see them, and what it's doing is it's creating control functions. The brainwaves will get the parameters for my Csound instrument that will then play and be sampled. So I've attached, thanks for asking. So what I've done is I've attached, we can play individual keys, so we can transpose the kind of brainwave data, but also you'll see the streams coming in. Well, if it connects. Come on, baby. Let's try again. I'm so excited. This just connected. And so, come on. Well, we could plug it in there, like we watch your brainwaves, that's true. But, I'm so excited. Showing the real me.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not going to be a very effective player if I can't connect my brainwaves. Hold on. It's on. It's looking. It's Bluetoothing. I might have to. So, in any case, let's see. I'm running Line Monitor. So this should get the data, use OSC to send it over to Csound. Csound instrument should listen to it. And then, yes, it will sample from that. And I control the sample rate with controllers. Let's see if you've got signal. Do you have signal? And controller? No, it's just the first one. Yeah, you got it. Okay. Tyler's got brainwave data. We'll start with him. And then I'll get mine going. And we'll watch him. Tyler, will you please switch to the correct view? There we go. Okay. So, let me put this in there. Maybe my phone will work again. Okay, hold on. Thank you. Now, this is the other adapter. So we're stuck. I have that adapter. It's in a bag. I forget finding it in my bags. Come on, baby. No, it's the same thing. They're fine. Hold on. We should get this to fly. Come on. Okay, we're off. And we're on. I might have to tell Bluetooth connection help? Sometimes that helps. Come on, technical name, sometimes that helps. Oh, come on. It's a nice piece. Maybe. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get this to work. But instead, I'll play you one other C-Sound piece that's on the program, and I'll make sure my brainwave syncs, and when it does, we'll do this next, okay? So, let's go back here, and what we'll do is Old Silver Beach at Night. So, we'll mellow out a little bit more with the C-Sound example. Stay connected, and while it's playing, I'll turn my Bluetooth on and off a few times, and maybe my headband will reconnect. So this C-Sound piece, and by the way, in the last piece I would only add, I did say to Mark, can you get a subwoofer, please, for the concert? So now you see why I wanted a subwoofer for that piece especially. But let me show you the next piece on the program, which is Old Silver Beach at Night. Now, this is a little bit dedicated to my dear friend John Fitch. We're all getting a little older, and we're leaving our dreams to the next generation of young composers and our students, of course. And that's who are here, Mateo and Tyler. And so John Fitch wrote a lot of the code in C-Sound. He's in Bath, England. We've done a lot of interesting collaborations. My students would say, boy, it'd be great if C-Sound did that, and John would write an opcode for it. So he had this instrument that he made, this piece called Dread, Deepest Red. And he had this noise instrument in it, and again, I sort of said, well, let me play with that a little bit. And when I was younger, like Marek had a band or something, Go-Go Boys band or something like this, and he used to play pop music. He was an organist, keyboard player, and they did a lot of controversial pop music. I'm sure he's told you all those stories too. Or maybe you had heard the records. In any case, when I was younger, played in a band too, and gigged at this beautiful hotel in Cape Cod on Old Silver Beach. And at night, between sets, I'd just go out and walk along the beach in the winter time, and really beautiful. And this is what it sounded like. And so I have my students now compose a noise piece like this, and so I can adjust that. Yeah, good. And so here is, we're good. We need you over there. Okay. So here is just this little filtered noise study. So imagine it's brainwaves, but close your eyes and relax, and I won't make you follow along this time. But this is Old Silver Beach at night. so with each at night. Thank you. Guess what? It's working. So, here's our brainwaves. And each of us has an iPad or whatever where we're monitoring our brainwaves. Like this. And when I stop talking, they might start wiggling. There you go. Okay. And I'll launch a Csound orchestra. My kind of brainwave orchestra. And it's this one. And I will make, hopefully I've got the right IP address. Hang on everyone, let's make sure. I'm talking to him. Wi-Fi settings. Details. And I'm talking to 192.168.8.201. Looks good on port 5003. So now if I tell this to start streaming from my phone to this, would you play a note on my keyboard? Oh, not yet. Doesn't want to see sound, right? Okay, wait. I run the CSD. It's listening on port 5003. Play note. Maybe. Turn way up. Try again. Here we go. Let's not stream and let's stream. Okay, and wait. Go. Okay, hold on. One more time. Stop, don't play any notes. Okay, let's try again. Go. Wait. Go. No, not yet. One more time. Come on. Okay, stop. We'll try one more thing and then we're going to give up on this. I'm going to run Csound old school. I'm in the terminal. If I was on Jurassic Park, I could have saved this from the dinosaurs. Wait, minus hold that. And let's throw it right there. Come on. And now run it. Old school. Wait. Go ahead. Nothing. No. Oh, it doesn't want ODAC. Hold on. It wants ODAC. Minus. Oh, boy, this is crazy. We'll try one more time. And then we're going to give up. Never give up. Come on, you. All of you send a little good karma, please. Oh, yeah, fine. Go to the website, download Csound. Now you know where to find it. Okay. Come on. Well, I've got my brainwaves anyway. You can watch mine. Tyler will play. Wait. Okay. This is the last chance. Hold it. Nothing. It's not even showing it. I said last chance on live. One more. Come on, you. P1 new. I'm going to try a different file. Wait. 5003. Yeah, it's correct. Go. Wait. Note. Yours is working? Well, this is a solo for Tyler. So, everyone, this is what So, I'd like to do something very special now. Oh yeah, there it is. We're going back into our headsets for a second to cast and play a very special piece that I've prepared for tonight. So every time I've come back to Poland, I've played with Tomek. And there was even one performance that my radio baton had died. It went terrible, and I was just fit to be tied. I was broken in 1,000 pieces. And, Tomek came up to me and said, "Oh, come on, come sit over here." And I had gone off and hid in a corner. And he's just such full of love and just so beautiful. And playing with him always made every concert so special. He had recorded some samples for me early on, some years ago, that I've actually put in my iPad apps, I've put in the MetaVerse, even some of the percussion sounds that you were hearing in the MetaDreams were Tomek playing and improvising. Such a great improviser. And so I composed a piece especially for you tonight called Remembering Tomek. It's in the MetaVerse. There are Krakow AI worlds, Krakow AI worlds. And all of the sounds are Tomek's playing and percussion sounds that I'm able to play with my orbs and with samplers. So I'd love to share this with you. And to make it even better, Mateo has been writing this incredible SoundScape software as part of his master's thesis at Stanford called Satie. And Mateo's software does real-time soundscaping, live coding. It uses AI to even find sounds, but I've given him my Tomek library to kind of compose with now. And so Mateo will begin the piece by sort of scripting and playing and starting a kind of soundscape, an Amazonic soundscape, an improvisation of Tomek, and then I will join from within the MetaVerse with a kind of scripted and timeline version of the piece as well. So let me just screencast, so it'll take 1 minute, but this is Remembering Tomek. Do you want to even start or say a few words?
Can we test the audio right now?
From Brainwave?
Test the audio from that same synthesizer, from his Brainwave.
From the computer. Can you give me a little bit more volume? Thank you.
Okay. was it?
It was the first time we practiced.
Hey,
Right now.
shh, come on, secrets. No, we've been working on this on and off, like, could you give me that? He's been changing, of course, right? Writing the software, adding new features, Mateo, what do you do this? Oh, that was pretty. You know, maybe we'll just end right there. Is that a good place to end? I think so. We could jam, we could do, I'd rather just stop right there. So, thank you very much for experiencing and coming to Csound in the MetaVerse. I think that's a perfect ending. We have another concert coming up. We'll take a little break. It's the Haven Quartet. They're going to do a few crazy things with Csound, but then end with a phenomenal performance of Steve Reich's Different Trains. You're going to hear my new string quartet, number 1. In the spirit of audio art, I think I added reverb. I have to write a real quartet. I'm sorry. These guys are so great. So they play notes and melodies and all of that. Sorry. And so maybe you want to stick around to hear a melody. I don't know. But you did hear that. And so we'll take a little break, I think Mark will tell you. And we'll set up for the quartet. And is that the plan, Mark? Good. Well, thank you for Csound in the MetaVerse and for coming. I'm Richard Boulanger. That's Mateo Larrea. You've heard Strong Bear from Lakewood, Everett Leigh from Irvine, California, and Tyler Kaufman here from London, England.
No to ja myślę, że mi się udało rozprostować kości, powstałem, więc myślę, że to samo Państwu polecam. Na chwileczkę. Ten drugi koncert jest mniej więcej podobnej długości, może minimalnie krótszy, bo tam są 3 utwory. Macie Państwo to programy, 2 utwory, właściwie jeden utwór zdecydowanie premierowy, a 2 już wykonywane. 2 kwartety Richarda Boulangera i jeden kwartet Steve'a Reicha. Reicha w Stanach Reicha, jak Państwo wiecie, taka jest różnica, trzecia R, E i CH. No, ogłaszam krótką przerwę. Ona może być techniczną przerwą, może być przerwą biologiczną, może być przerwą